Well, hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. My name is Rebecca and welcome to another Exploring Atlanta video. Today marks the beginning of Black History Month. Now, since I started my channel over 2 years ago, I never really set aside any specific time or month or period for Black history, but I think I'm going to do that this month. And in today's video, we are going to explore Southview Cemetery. Now, I'm not in the habit of just exploring cemeteries, but Southview is not just another cemetery. It is the oldest African-American owned and operated nonprofit in the country, and it was founded by ex-slaves during Jim Crow segregation. They had grown tired of the disrespect they had to endure in order to bury their loved ones. Many times they had to enter through the back gates, and also they had to walk through swampy areas in order to bury their loved ones. And it just got to the point where they were tired of this disrespect, and they were told that, well, if you don't like it, just create your own cemetery, which they did, which is why Southview is commonly referred to as a place of our own. Now, there's a long history of struggle, challenge, and amazing success buried here at Southview. Who are these people? What is their story? How do they fit in Black history? And that is what we're going to be exploring in this video. I want to welcome those of you who are visiting for the first time, and a shout out to the returning subscribers. I really appreciate you more than you know. Now, before we jump into the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel because it does help to grow and bring more videos like this, and it's free. So put your walking shoes on, let's hit these streets, and I'll be back later to close us out. We are here at the entrance of Southview Cemetery. You know, I like to give you a pan around. It is a beautiful chilly day. It's sunny outside, but it is chilly. Let's just do a pan around here. This is Southview Cemetery, a historic cemetery that was founded in 1886 by the efforts of 9 African-American businessmen who wanted a safe, secure place where their family members could be buried with dignity in the midst of the backlash from Reconstruction after the Civil War. The cemetery is located about 15 minutes from downtown. It is humongous. It has over 100 acres of land, and it is the oldest African American cemetery in Atlanta. It is the final resting place of over 80,000 African Americans, many of whom have made significant contributions to American history and the struggle for freedom and peace. There are many notables. Among the men and women here, you have scholars, business owners, pastors, professors, military heroes, musicians, athletes, civil rights activists, some of whom I will be highlighting in today's video. It's also the resting place for regular working class members, family members, which is important as well. This place is very well manicured and scenic with rolling hills. There's a garden-style mausoleum on the lower grounds to the left, and I'll be showing you that as we go along. The cemetery is surrounded by an urban neighborhood. Now, I was given a map diagramming some of the more historic figures interred here, and we'll have to see how well I can follow it. It just has some exhibit markings to guide you around this huge place. And from the beginning, the association carried no restriction as far as race, creed, or religious affiliation, like so many other southern cemeteries operating during this same period. And I understand that there are thousands of burial spaces currently available and acres of undeveloped wooded areas that will make this cemetery operational for decades. I'm just going to pan around here as I check my map, my diagram, make sure I know where I'm going. These flags are veterans' grave sites. Veterans who served in every war since World War I are buried in this cemetery, including 2 members of the Tuskegee Airmen. And there's an annual ceremony as part of what's called Wreaths Across America that has been held here since December of 2010. This image is a representation of Wreaths Across America and what it represents in honor of veterans. Now, as we explore the landscape here looking for headstones of specific decedents, I have some slides to share with you of notable individuals that you may or may not recognize that are interred here at Southview. And most of these individuals are not listed on my diagram, so I probably won't find their actual gravesite. We're going to start here with Hank Aaron. I think we all know who Hank is. The Hall of Fame player who broke Babe Ruth's home run record. The Atlanta murdered children of 1979 through 81. This was an international story, and there were several children. I can't remember the total number, but 7 of those youths are interred here at Southview. William Barrett, Yusef Bell, Milton Harvey, Aaron Jackson, Patrick Rogers, Curtis Walker, and Aaron Weich. There's also William Holmes Borders. I believe I did see his gravesite, so we'll come back to that. He was the pastor of Wheat Street Baptist Church in Sweet Auburn. And next we have William Guest, who was a member of the original and lasting Gladys Knight and the Pips group. He and his wife, I believe, are buried here. And we have the 2 Tuskegee Airmen from World War II, Horace Bohannon and First Lieutenant Walter Westmoreland. One was a pilot and one was a flight officer. And we have several veterans that are buried here, and I'll talk more about that. And we have Bishop Henry McNeil Turner. He was the 12th bishop of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. There are, I believe, over 139 bishops since that time, and he was the 12th one. And we have political leader John Wesley Dobbs, and he was the mayor, unofficial mayor of Sweet Auburn, Auburn Avenue. Sweet Auburn was a very popular district for wealthy African Americans at the turn of the century. We have Atlanta rapper Bankroll Fresh. I'm not familiar with him, but a lot of people are. Alonzo Herndon and his family. I did a video story about the Herndon home last week. You might want to check out that video from last week. I think that you will find it very informative. He and his family are buried here. His wife, his 2 wives, first and second wife, and his son Norris Herndon. And we have 2 leaders of the civil rights movement. have Julian Bond and John Lewis, who were both part of Martin Luther King Jr.'s inner circle. And the last slide I have here is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s family. We have Daddy King and his mother Alberta King, and his sister Christine King Ferris and her husband, and Martin Luther King Jr.'s brother A.D. King. And you see there A.D. King's wife and A.D. King's 3 children. They are all interred here. And those are just a few. Now we're going to check out some of the headstones here as we walk along. Here we have the burial plot of Geneva Hoggebrooks. She established the Hoggebrooks Funeral Home on Auburn Avenue in 1929 with just $300. And she turned the venture into a multi-million-dollar business for nearly a century. It did close in 2019. It was sold to a real estate developer who converted it into an event and office spaces. John Wesley Dobbs. I showed you a slide of him. He's a civic leader, the unofficial mayor of Auburn Avenue. The Whitman sisters. The Whitman sisters were legendary African-American vaudeville stars and producers in the early 1900s. You had Mabel, Essie, and Alberta. And they formed a pioneering female-managed troupe that was the highest paid act on the black vaudeville circuit for over 40 years. Charles L. Harper was the first principal of Booker T. Washington High School. He built a firm educational foundation for the school by hiring well-educated teachers. Here we have First Lieutenant Walter Westmoreland. I did show you a slide. He was one of the original Tuskegee Airmen. He was a military pilot in World War II who lost his life in combat. He received the Air Medal and Purple Heart. And if you haven't seen the Red Tails movie, I would highly recommend it because that movie was inspired by the true story of the Tuskegee Airmen. Reverend Martin Luther King Sr. and his wife Alberta. He was the pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church. And of course, Mrs. King was assassinated by Marcus Wayne Chenault while she was playing the organ at the church. Carrie Cunningham, also known as Mama Cunningham. She was a part of the Sweet Auburn District as well. She was an influential figure in Atlanta's Sweet Auburn District during its heyday. She's best known as the owner of the historic Royal Peacock Club on Auburn Avenue, which was a famous entertainment venue. And it still operates today as the Royal Peacock Lounge, and it continues to host events including reggae, hip-hop, and dance hall nights. Daniel Thomas. They had this on my map, but not sure exactly who this person is, this gentleman is. But this is a monument. It was a tribute from his family. He was born in 1860 and died in 1910. Hank Aaron, Atlanta Braves Baseball Hall of Famer, who broke Babe Ruth's home run record of 714 and ended his career with 755 home runs. John Lewis, civil rights leader, congressman. He passed away of pancreatic cancer in 2020. He was re-elected 17 times as a congressman. He served over 30 years. His wife preceded him in death in 2012. The Herndon family plot. I showed you a slide earlier, and this is where his family is buried. You have Jesse, his second wife, Adrian, his first wife. It looks like Adrian's mother, Alonzo, and their son, Norris. Alonzo was founder of Atlanta Life Insurance Company. And for the next few minutes before I close out, I'm just going to pan around different areas. I'm going to go over to the lowlands and just pan around that area. There are a lot of veterans over there, and the mausoleum is over there. The garden mausoleum is over there. I don't know if I'm going to venture over into the older areas, like the sections back from the 1800s. The cemetery has both perpetual care and non-perpetual care areas, meaning that there is a trust set up where the cemetery maintains and upkeep the grounds and grave sites of certain areas. And then there are other areas that there's no funding for. So some portions of the cemetery have suffered some neglect because there's no funding or trust set up for the cemetery to upkeep. This area is more or less left up to the family. All the new plots that are sold are perpetual care. But like I said, many of the historic family plots were not. We're just going to take a look at different areas. So I'll just make some clips and we will be on our way. Okay, so that's going to wrap up our tour of Southview Cemetery. And as I mentioned in the video, there are over 80,000 African Americans interred here, many of whom were very impactful in enriching not just the Black experience, but the human experience. And I hope you enjoyed this little tribute or Black history as much as I did. Now, I will be back again next week with another video. On your way out, please don't forget to like, share, comment, hit subscribe. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye-bye now. Have a great week.